Welcome to MMA Dogs. My name is Hector, and as always, I want to thank you for tuning in. A very special thank you to all of our clients and all of our supporters. We've got The Ultimate Fighter 21, The Ultimate Fighter finale, and let's not waste any time. Let's dive right into it. So for the main event, we got Jake Ellenberger versus Stephen Thompson. Very interesting matchup here. For me, the bottom line with this one is that I think Jake Ellenberger, unfortunately for him, has seen his better days. I think he has he has peaked, and we no longer are going to get to see the juggernaut. And that's sad, but that happens in fighters' careers. That gets to the point where they are no longer the same fighter they used to be. Plus, the closing down of Reign training, and I know he's gone elsewhere, but that's tough on a fighter, especially one who's so involved in the gym. And as far as his game goes, we know what we're gonna get. He's gonna throw the big look for the big knockout punch, get the wrestling. But with Stephen Thompson, we've got a fighter who, in my opinion, has been doing well for himself, has been putting himself in good situations, training with Chris Weidman. Weidman's brought him in to emulate Anderson Silva. GSP brought him in to emulate some strikers. So he's a very, very excellent strike. He's an excellent striker who has been working on his takedown defense, obviously with Chris Weidman. And I have faith in that the Wonder Boy Thompson's going to pull it off. So Thompson by knockout in round 3. The line is a little steep, so they are making us pay for the winner, but I do believe he is going to win. And just a preface, a heads up. This card, I'm going to risk a total of 3.5 units, so it's very conservative. 1 unit equals 1% of the bankroll, because you can't go out there and go all out crazy, betting everything on fight cards, especially when we got them. We have 3 in under 7 days. So just have to be really, really safe. You got a whole bankroll, so you got to be real safe. So Wonder Boy Thompson for the pick, knockout round 3, and he'll also be a bet, and I'll go into that in a minute. Usman versus Hassan. Oh man, Hassan has a path to victory, clear path to victory, and that's to win by knockout. And I have been impressed with what I've seen out of Hassan. But Usman's wrestling, he's just going to John Fitch him, blanket him. He's just going to try to anyway. So I've got Usman to win a decision. Do not bet. I have zero interest in betting Usman. If I was going to bet it, and I might, depending on if the line goes high enough, he's a plus 185 right now. If it hits plus 200, I'm going to have to pull the trigger. Unfortunately, I won't be able to track it because it wouldn't be fair to my clients if I added it last minute on such a small card. So Usman by decision is the pick. Do not bet on Usman. If I had to bet it, it would be on Hassan, and that's it. Mike Graves versus Vicente Luque. Let's put it this way. I have not been impressed at all with Graves, and I have been very impressed with Luque. So I've got Luque winning by knockout in round 3. I like what I've seen out of this kid, and he will be my bet, and he will be my pick. Jorge Masvidal versus Cezar Ferreira. I have zero faith in Ferreira's chin, and I like Masvidal to win a decision. It's a do not bet. I'm not interested in betting Ferreira unless people start coming in on Ferreira and Masvidal drops. But for now, it's a do not bet. Masvidal by decision. Michelle Waterson versus Angela Magana. Honestly, I'm not impressed with either fighter, but I do think Waterson will win, and I think it'll be by decision. So Waterson's a pick. Do not bet. Not interested in that one. Maximo Blanco versus Mike De La Torre. I don't like what I saw out of Blanco for the at the weigh-ins. Usually he misses weight, but I really didn't like it, and I think Mike De La Torre is a little underrated. For me, this was a toss-up fight anyways. The fact that Blanco missed weight, I got to go with De La Torre to win by decision, and he will also be my bet. Samman versus Caio Magalhaes. At first I'm thinking Magalhaes, so that was my first pick, my first instinct. But upon further inspection and watching their fights, I'm really not impressed by Caio, and I think his run will end just like Pendrith did last night. I think Samman will knock him out in round 2. So Josh Samman by knockout, and he will also be the pick and the bet. Russell Doane versus Jerrod Sanders. I got to go with Doane. I don't like the price. Doane should finish, but at worst, get a decision. So Russell Doane for the pick. Dan Miller versus Trevor Smith. This is an interesting one. You know, at first, once again, I looked at it, I'm thinking Dan Miller should win this fight. But then I started watching their fights, and I'm thinking to myself, man, Trevor Smith will win the fight. So Trevor Smith actually has persuaded me to put a small bet on him, just a half a unit. But at plus 110, I like it. So Smith will be the pick, and Smith will be the bet. I think you can eke out, scratch out here a decision. And George Sullivan versus Dominic Waters. I got to go with Sullivan here. Waters making his debut. I mean, he's got the length, and he's got the striking, but how will he do when Sullivan gets in his face and puts him up against the fence? So I got to go with Sullivan by decision, do not bet. And Willie Gates versus Darrell Montague. This is another tough one I've been back and forth on, but ultimately do not bet Willie Gates by decision. So as far as the bets go, MMA Dogs, tough 21. My bets, my picks, no 5 stars, no 4 stars. There's a few 3 stars. Josh Samman, Mike De La Torre, Vicente Luque, and Stephen Thompson. The first bet, so 1 unit equals 1% of the bankroll. You want to be real safe, real conservative. You don't want to blow your whole bankroll in one card or a few. You definitely don't want to chase. It's hard. It's easier said than done, but very much easier said than done. But it's you got to stay disciplined here. So first bet, round robin of 2s, so 6 parlays because there's 4 fighters at half a unit each. So total bet with their 6 parlays, half a unit each, is 3 units to win 7.36 units. Josh Samman at plus 110. Mike De La Torre minus 105. Vicente Luque minus 115. And Stephen Thompson at minus 190. So I was at 5 dimes about an hour ago, about 12:45 Pacific Standard Time, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time on today's date. So that's the first one. Samman, De La Torre, Luque, Thompson, all in a round robin of 2s. Second bet, or I guess you could say the second, not a round robin, it's just a straight bet. Straight bet on Trevor Smith at plus 110 at half a unit. So half a unit on Trevor Smith at plus 110. So half a unit to win 0.55 units. So grand total, very safe, very conservative. 3.50 units to win 7.91 units. So that return on investment is about 245. So really, really want this win. Of course, I hate to lose, and I really don't like to lose. So I spent an extra amount of time last night after the fights, and I spent all my morning, all my afternoon, just about now, just a few hours away from fight time now, researching and finalizing these picks. So UFC 189 didn't go our way, didn't go my way, but I was very careful, only risked, a few units because I knew it was going to be a tough card. I try to minimize any type of damage and, of course, maximize the profit. I mean, Rory McDonald winning the fight, going to go win it by decision, and then Robbie decides to finish it all in round 5. So that was a real tough one. But small loss, still up big time on the year. Excuse me. Oh, allergies. Got the window open here from my backyard, trees and stuff. But yeah, so it was tough, but you can't expect to win them all. It's not going to stop me from trying. It's not going to stop us from trying to win them all. But we got to stay the course because that's what got me over 50 units on the year. And just be, smart, safe, conservative. I really appreciate you guys, all of our clients. I got a few emails and stuff, so appreciate all your support. Appreciate all the clients. A lot of you guys are telling me that you're referring friends and telling people and stuff, which I really appreciate. So thank you for that. And yeah, that wraps it up. Let's get this video uploaded, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.